What up, Trilogy Fit? But today I'm coming as you as Leonardo Beresweta. Um, I noticed, man, I seen some numbers in the news that talk about how anxieties and depression is going up, not only in our young adults, but in adults. And I just want to tell you my piece on this. Growing up, I went through two severe depressions. When I was a teen, I went through severe depression and was very suicidal. The only thing that stopped me from committing suicide was doing drugs so I can escape from that depression and that darkness. I fell in love. That person happens to be my best friend in the whole wide world. Saved me from that darkness. In my later 20s, again, I went through a severe depression. This one was so bad that I told myself, if I don't find a way to get over it, I'm going to go to the roof of my job and I'm going to throw myself off. Because under no circumstances am I going to live in this darkness. I woke up every day, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what, Leo, you can do this. You can conquer this. And one day to the other, 1 minute to the other, just like that, it was gone. No depression, clear-headedness. And I decided to do research and figure out things and ways to never let this happen again. I started looking at the things, the triggers that made me depressed. One of the triggers was my family. My family has a lot of mental illness. And so I decided to distance myself from them. From friends that I knew for years who brought a stress level to me and toxicity to me that also led me into that darkness, I cut them off. Drinking and doing drugs every weekend brought that on. And so I stopped doing that. And then I started doing things for myself, things that were good for me, right? Reading, working out, meditating, surrounding myself with very, very good people and positive people. And although there was a hiccup 3 years ago when my dad passed away, and rightfully so, where I had some dark moments and I had some panic attacks, in over 10 years, I haven't had not one real dark depression. And it's because I took personal responsibility to make a change. Obviously, mental illness is mental illness, but I want to say that we live in a world where there are a bunch of children living as adults in adult bodies. Why is it that when we do something good, we get a degree, we're in a good relationship, we get some PR, we tap ourselves on the back, and rightfully so, and give ourselves credit and say, look what I've accomplished, look everyone. But when something bad happens in our lives, we pass the buck, right? We pass the blame. It was my parents' fault. It's my kid's fault. It's my boss's fault. It's my friend's fault. It's the pandemic's fault. This is a childlike mentality. This is what kids do, right? When you tell them, well, why'd you do that? It was like, no, it was Timmy's fault, right? And rightfully so, you can understand that for coming from kids and children. But we need to start being adults because that's what's going to save you from that dark side. It's taking personal responsibility for what's good and bad in your life. The good, trying to build from that. The bad, trying to find ways to get rid of that bad or ebb that bad and make it smaller and smaller. And what you're going to see is that darkness is going to stay way behind. But we need to act like adults. And I'm telling you, man, it's a lot happier on this side.